What is up, bros and broettes? I'm Inkslasher, and today we're going to be talking about two brand new maps that are in Call of Duty World War II in DLC 3. So before we get talking about the maps, first of all, I have to thank Activision and Sledgehammer Games for bringing me down to San Francisco, checking out DLC 3 a little bit early, and allowing me to bring you guys some early gameplay. Now today we're going to be looking at two new maps that are going to be in DLC 3. Now, as far as DLC 3 goes as a whole, especially focusing on the multiplayer maps, they really went the traditional route with the World War II style maps. They all feel like you are really playing in World War II. There's nothing crazy like there was in DLC 2 with Egypt. Now, as far as the two maps we are looking at today, we have Market Garden and Stalingrad. So the one you're watching right now is Market Garden. This may be my favorite map in the entire game, let alone one of my favorite maps out of any Call of Duty games, and that's really saying a lot. So what I've noticed from this is every year that DLC comes out for a Call of Duty game, it seems like when we get to DLC 3 or DLC 4, there's always a map that I absolutely love. And I think it has to do with the developers really optimizing what they can do in-game because they're getting used to using the tools and creating things for the present game that they are working on. For example, back in Black Ops 3, the map that really did this for me was Berserk. I loved that map. I believe it was in DLC 3 or 4. I can't remember which one. But this is that map for me. This map absolutely blows me away. It is so well designed. It's a tiny map with really close quarters combat. Shotguns, SMGs really do reign supreme on this map, and on top of that, you are able to flank around the outside of the map. I think it's a perfectly sized map, a really well designed map, and I love the aesthetic of it. I love that you are fighting within a house. It works well in all objective game modes, and I didn't play Search and Destroy on this, so I can't say this without a shadow of a doubt, but I could imagine Search and Destroy being absolutely amazing on this map. Out of all of the maps in DLC 3, hands down, this is my favorite one, let alone probably one of my favorite maps in the game, if not any Call of Duty of all time. I loved this map. Now, on top of it being extremely well designed, I actually really like the aesthetics of it as well. Throughout the map, you can see the house, but around the outside of the map, there's explosions going on, shots being fired. It's kind of a dark and dingy map, at the same time being a really creative map with the house. On top of that, the style of the actual house is kind of like this older World War II style house, which makes complete sense. On top of that, callouts are incredibly easy on this map, as every single room in the house kind of has its own feature. Probably my favorite room in the entire house would be the bathroom. This bathroom is incredibly important. For one reason, it's right in the middle of the house, and the second reason is it leads to kind of both sides of the map, which means if you control the bathroom, you kind of can control the whole house, and you have some really good lines of sight from it. So that's going to be an area you really want to exploit when trying to do good on this map and trying to get lots of kills. Now, completely opposite of this map, we have Stalingrad. And I'm not saying completely opposite because I don't like it, because that's not true at all. It's just a very different map to Market Garden. And what I mean by that is, first of all, this map is really wide open. You can literally see from one end of the map to the other. Sniper rifles are definitely very viable, especially when playing Domination, because the Domination flags are in a complete straight line. Literally, you can look from one side of the map, the A flag, to the C flag on the other side of the map. So that's definitely a viable option when playing that game mode. But on top of that, there is definitely some really good flank routes on this map. On either side of the map, you can flank underneath the ground, you can go over top of this little bunker area on the right hand side of the map, and I think once again this map is pretty well designed. That being said, it's not your common multiplayer map. Normally when you have a multiplayer map, you basically have 3 lines and then a line across the middle of it, basically like a capital H with a line down the middle. This map does not have that. This map is simply just 3 lanes straight up. And basically, if you're playing something like Team Deathmatch, if you just lock down all 3 lanes, you win the game. Now, all in all, I don't like this size of map. It's a little bit too big for me, but I think a lot of players are really going to like this map. The thing I do think they knocked out of the park with this map is the aesthetic of it. When you're playing on this map, it feels cold. It feels like a winter map should feel, and I really like that about it. But I would say out of the 3 maps, this is definitely the largest in DLC 3. It definitely has the longest lines of sight, and if you're a sniper, this will probably be your go-to map out of the 3. But out of the 3 multiplayer maps, this is actually my second favorite. I think they did an incredibly good job with it. It's just, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, Market Garden is like a 9.5, and this is like a 7.5. So it sounds like I'm shitting on Stalingrad a little bit. It's just I loved Market Garden so much, it's hard to compare any other map to that one out of this entire DLC. Now, I will say, as far as Stalingrad goes, it fills a position that we don't really have as far as World War II goes, and that is the 3-lane maps. Now, we have a ton of 3-lane maps with, like, a kind of line through the middle. For example, a great example of this would be Ardennes Forest. That map has 3 lanes, but you can navigate through the center of the map. Whereas Stalingrad, you can't really navigate from the left side of the map to the right side of the map directly through the middle. You have to use outside flank lanes, which really does change up the gameplay. So this map really does fill a position that isn't really too popular, or at least isn't there in Call of Duty World War II, which I think a lot of people will really like, and it really does change up that gameplay. Basically, what it does is it forces you to use longer range weapons, whether that be a sniper rifle or an assault rifle. So your STGs, your Volkssturmgewehrs are going to really be good on this map. So as far as these 2 maps go, they are both very solid. In fact, my favorite 2 out of the entire DLC. So what I'm going to do is just leave you guys off with maybe 5 or so extra minutes of just straight up gameplay. The sound is a little bit screwed up. I don't know why. Something to do with the recording on my laptop. The sound just isn't quite right. So if you hear like a weird sounding gun or something like that, they didn't change the sound of the gun. It's just for some reason that's the way my laptop recorded it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. If you do, it'd be awesome if you could hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and like what you see, it's always awesome if you hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all my videos. But guys, without further ado, I hope you enjoy the rest of the gameplay and have a great day.
Enemy holds the hard point. We group. Expom mission on the way. Hardpoint locked down. We have the momentum. Hardpoint is in enemy hands. Enemy holds the hardpoint. We can't keep this up. Enemy counterintelligence aircraft observed. Enemy recon aircraft in the air. Two hardpoints, flash out the enemy. Enemy holds the hard point. Hard point is being overrun. Need reinforcements. Hard point is in enemy hands. Enemy holds the hard point. Hard point is being overrun. Need reinforcements. We have tactical advantage. Keep firing. Enemy recon aircraft in the air. Enemy counter-recon aircraft observed. Hardpoint is in enemy hands. Fighter strike inbound. Find cover. Recon aircraft ready. Two hardpoints. Move out. Targets.
Ich brauche mehr Munition!
Dropping Fritz X-Bomb. Flash out the enemy! Enemy bomb incoming! Get to cover! Hardpoint locked down. Enemy strafing run inbound!
Ich glaub, den hat er!
is in enemy hands.
Hold on, hold on.